Hey guys, welcome to part 3. I'm making a dodging game in iPhone SDK. If you haven't watched part 2 or part 1, if you have watched part 1 to part 2, watch them all in order. Click the annotation to take you to part 1 and continue on watching this. And if you already watched part 1, then watch part 2. But what we did is we made this label draggable, and we made that image at the bottom automatically move around. And in this part, we're going to make it do something when these two images collide with each other. So if they hit each other, game over, we're dead. It's really simple, just a couple lines of code. This video, last part probably won't be too long. So I'm just going to quit the simulator. So we're going to want to go back into our .h, and right before the app property, we want to do a void. So just dash void, and in this void we're going to call check collision. If I can, hopefully I'm spelling that right. Just like that. And that's right for the app properties. So that's basically defining our void that we created, and that's going to check for a collision. So now if we copy that and paste it into our viewcontroller.m, right in our touches that we did earlier, right here is our first void, and it ends. And right here's our second void. What we want to do is we want to paste that void right in between those two voids for our touches. So paste it right there. And then you can just create your brackets right there for now, temporarily. And before we get into putting stuff in this thing, we're going to first want to put one line of code inside our touches that we did in part 1, basically to define it. So inside this void, our first void that we did in part 1, press enter twice inside this void curly bracket that we already did, and we want to type down open square brackets, self, space, check, collision. That's basically saying that it's going to relate to check collision. So now back to our check collision void. Press enter if open our brackets CG rec. So CG rect intersects rack. This is where your first image will go. So if image 2 and image 1 collide, so we want to do 1 dot frame, so the frame of it, and then we want to do just trying to look at the code here. We want to do the other one, and it doesn't matter if there's a space or not. And this is going to be 2 dot frame. So if those two images collide, it's going to do something. Now we're going to end our brackets twice, or just one time, I guess, because it automatically put the other one there. And now what we're going to want to add another open bracket, and then close that bracket. And right in between here is what it will do when those two images collide. So this is kind of your magic spot of what you want to do. So say we want a UI alert to come up. So UI alert, alert view. So UI alert view space star alert equals open square brackets UI alert view alloc inner square brackets init with title so init with title colon at quotes, and this is what the title of it's going to be, so at quotes let's just say game over. Space message colon, this is what the message is going to be in our alert, and let's just make it say, you just got hit. End our quotes. Delegate. Colon nil. Cancel. Just in a second I'll move it over. So now we're going to do our cancel button. So we're cancel capital B button. So our button title colon at quotes, and this is what the button's going to say to dismiss it. So we would just say, let's say, okay. And other button titles, button titles, we want to be colon nil, unless you want other button titles, but if you do, make sure you have ./nil after that. I'm sure you guys know how to do an alert view. I'm just doing an example. You guys can skip ahead in the video if you don't want to see me type forever doing this. And then we just want to press enter after that for new line. Alert space show, end it, press enter, open or square brackets, alert space release. So it's going to release the alert after we're done. So now if we build and go right now and save all, we have one error. And let me just see the problem quickly here. Okay, so right there we have a open square bracket where we're not supposed to. So, and we don't need an open square bracket there either. So now if I build and go, and we need 2 square brackets right there. I'm sorry about that, guys. So now, if we build and go and we collide with each other, our alert will show up and it'll say game over, you just got hit. Now, as you can see, that image is still moving around, so really, we're kind of cheating. Our alert comes up, you just got hit, game over. You just got hit. And it's just really... So what we gotta do is we're gonna make it freeze. So to do that, press enter after our alert, and it's really simple. We just want pose, which is our position, equals space CG point, make, just set it to 0.0 / 0.0. So that means it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to stay there, and that's what we want to happen when we collide with each other. So now, if we hit each other, as you can see, it freezes. We can still move that around. It's just going to keep coming up because we're over it. And that's pretty much how to make something happen when 2 UI images collide. And I covered really 3 major tutorials in this tutorial. There are tutorials and separate tutorials for this on YouTube, but I combine them all into one thing. And this is how to make a dodge game in iPhone SDK, Xcode. There'll be a source code in the description. You can download it, refer to the code if you want. I hope to help you guys out in many different ways. For more iPhone SDK tutorials, Mac tips, giveaways, tech videos in general, go check out my channel and subscribe to my videos. Thank you for watching, and again, I hope to help you guys out with making your own game. Thank you for watching.